So, Liverpool get ever closer to clinching the Premier League title as we see them beat Leicester City 1-0. What an amazing goal that was from Trent Alexander-Arnold, a player that has been getting so much stick over the past few weeks for his move to Real Madrid. Although that's not official yet, but rumor has it, and the rumors are swelling, of course, that he will be going to Real Madrid. So I like the fact that he's the one that scored. Especially today being his first game since the injury, for him to be introduced and for him to get a goal that makes the difference in the tie. There's no one better I could have chosen to get that goal. So kudos to him for that and for edging us ever closer to clinching the Premier League title. Right now, we are one win away from being crowned champions. Of course, Arsenal are playing on Wednesday with Crystal Palace. If Arsenal manage to win that game, then that would mean that we will need to win our next game. And if that happens, then we will be crowned champions. But if Arsenal draw or if they lose, then we are champions already. Never mind the next game that we are to play next Sunday. So, yes, I hope with Arnold scoring that goal, it is some sort of a way, for us as the fans of the club, to just wish him well. If he is to move, of course, just wish him well. I mean, this is a player that we have always given stick over his defending. We have always thought he was not good enough, when it comes to defending. Although, of course, offensively, he is one of the best players in that position doing that type of work. But when it comes to defending, we've always complained. So right now, if he is to depart, then we have a chance of bringing in someone who can actually be good defensively. The game, what do I think of the game? The game was actually mundane, to say the least. And I think maybe it has to do with the fact that Arsenal aren't putting too much pressure on us. Maybe it's to do with the point gap. They believe that we already have it in the bag. We see the Mikel Arteta's and of course the Arsenal fans saying that the Premier League is not over yet. But we know they believe that it's over. And now they have their sights set for maybe the Champions League. They believe they have a chance there. So in the Premier League, they're just playing, just to pass time by. But they're not really there. Maybe that's why we aren't playing as we should. This is not the Liverpool that we have come to know, especially this season. We were go-getters. When we got inside the field, we're just playing to win. But right now, we're creating chances, of course, as we saw Salah hitting the woodwork, as we saw other players also trying but not giving. So, but there isn't that sense of agency, the sense of agency that we have come to know, that we have come to believe to be part of our DNA this season. It's not there. And I think it has to do with the fact that we believe that the league is gone, Leicester City, they have been relegated, for the second time in 3 seasons. And I understand why it's difficult for them. And the Premier League is getting tougher and tougher with each season, because all teams, they keep on buying quality, and for a team like Leicester City, they are losing their best players. When you lose your best players, it's very difficult for you to compete. I mean, we see Yuri Telemans there at Aston Villa bossing it. You can imagine him in this Leicester City. He would help massively, but to have them, go to be relegated like that, a team that has won the Premier League, it's not really a good sight to behold. But nonetheless, it is what it is. The Premier League is rather difficult, so we understand that. Hopefully, they'll be able to make it back again, in the following seasons to come. So another game also that I would like us to talk about, guys, is the United game, the United versus Wolves game. I don't know what is going on with Manchester United, but I don't know, it seems very difficult for them. And I understand, of course, had it been a draw, I'd understand. It's a loss, I still understand. They're just coming back from, a Europa League game that went on to extra time. So most of their first 11 players were exhausted. Those weren't the players I believe the coach could have started with. It was definitely going to be a loss, especially looking at how physical and how energetic this Wolves side is. So for him to start with a different team, also, it wasn't too bad. I mean, they held their own. The first half, we saw, how balanced the game was. They could have they had many chances, actually. They had many chances. We saw Garnacho creating chances, but they were not buried. Willian, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know whether to rate him as a striker that United needs. I think they just have to go into the market and get someone else again, because I don't think he's up for it. I don't think he's up for it, or just making him a backup striker, because he has the potential, but he's just not meeting it at the moment. This is a player that is capable. They bought him because they saw the potential in him, but I don't know, recently or ever since his Man United tenure, he's not been doing much. He's not been doing much. So I think they'll need to go into the market and get someone who can be able to compete, maybe that can get the best out of him. They created many chances, they were not betting them, and later on they conceded a goal and it ended like that. So right now, this season, United 15 losses in the league, and that is embarrassing to say the least for a club as that's big in magnitude as Manchester United. So there's just so many things that needs to change. There's just so many things that need to change. And also, I don't know if this 3-4-3 this 3-4-3 philosophy is working for the manager. I was talking to a United friend earlier, and he was alluding to the fact that he does not like this philosophy, and he believes that he should try to adapt to the Premier League, because it's not working out for him. It's not working out for him. But he is insistent. I mean, this is a guy that has won league titles, in Sporting with this philosophy. So he believes in it. Maybe he's just looking at the fact that he needs his own players. Because lest we forget, these are Ten Hag's players. And them maybe failing to live up to the philosophy that Amorim has can be due to the fact that when they were brought into when they were brought into United, they came there looking at Ten Hag's way of play. So that is what they can be able to play. This one is not something that they're used to. So maybe that's why they're failing. Maybe when the season ends, he can be able to get 3 or 4 of his players. Then we can be able to judge him then. But as for the atmosphere, as for the confidence in the team, I don't think he's brought any of that. We have managers that can be able to take a dead team and just bring it to life, just breathe it to life. We saw when Klopp took Liverpool from Brendan Rodgers, that was a team that was sitting on 8th position, but when Klopp came, they went on to go to the finals of the Carabao Cup. They went on to go to the finals of the Europa League. So this is something that Amorim hasn't been able to do. So now I don't know, how to judge him, really. Should I judge him with his own players, or should I judge him with how he's been able to change the United players? Has he been able to change them? I don't think he has been. They're just playing the same. It's just Ten Hag, but in a different phase. So I don't know how that's gonna go about, but with time we'll just see how that goes. And also I'd like to talk about the top 4. The top 4, that battle for the top 4 is just it's gonna be something else. There's obviously Newcastle there. They've just lost their game against an Aston Villa side that were just too good. Well, that's what we expect of them, especially at home. But against Newcastle, they were coming into this game with 5 wins, and for them to lose 4-1 like that is just I don't know how Newcastle fans feel, but an amazing game though from Aston Villa's point of view. But of course, that's what you would expect. Granted that they were able to beat a very good PSG side, a thorn in every team that they come against. Being able to beat them 3-2 like that, and them coming against Newcastle, of course you'd expect them to win, given that obviously they've had their confidence boosted. So for them to be able to beat them there gives them, it takes them to 57 points, which it's them, Manchester City and Newcastle, and also Nottingham Forest, if I'm not mistaken. So these are teams that have played 33 times. Actually, Newcastle has 58. So now it's Chelsea, it's Aston Villa and Manchester City that are sitting on 57 points. And there are at least 6 games to go. 5 games to go. There are 5 games to go. So we'll just see how that one ends. But my 2 cents, I believe that Manchester City will have a very good shout in making it in the top 4 because of their experience. I know this hasn't been their season, but the experience that they have, it'll show a difference, in this top 4 fight. It'll show a difference. And also, I think it's going to be top 4 and it's going to be top 5, I believe. I think 5 teams will be included in the Champions League of next season. So I guess it's just the number 6 team that's going to be a bit problematic. But we'll just see how everything ends. From what I see now, looking at the teams and what's next, Manchester City have been here. You know, they've fought for the title for the longest time. This is a team that can be able to win when needs be. So I'm not really too worried about them. I think they have this one in the back, even though Haaland is not there. You know, they've done it before, they can do it again. You know, so Arsenal also were able to win their game 4-0. Of course, I mean, it's not like I expected anything different, being that they were able to beat a team like Real Madrid. There's something that happens when you beat a foe that is regarded, you know, the best. There's something that happens. There's a switch. There's a change of character. There's a change of confidence that takes place in that. And that's where Aston Villa are currently in, and that's where Arsenal are currently in. It's unfortunate for Arsenal that the game, obviously, it's long gone. It's in Liverpool's hands now. But had they been like 1 point adrift of Liverpool, I would have, you know, given Arsenal the advantage because of, you know, who they have beaten and what change, what sort of change and what sort of mentality change and upgrade that gives to a team. You know, but unfortunately, they're 13 points clear. They're 13 points behind. So the league is just as good as done. Right now, they have all their sights against, you know, PSG and the Champions League. They have a very big shout, and I believe that all 4 teams in the Champions League have that shout. So for the Premier League reactions, we are done for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you again soon. Bye.